Houston, we've got a problem. We're gonna have to figure out what's going on here. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna be addressing a very important but often neglected maintenance item for your trailers. Stay tuned. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and pop the center cap off and loosen our lug nuts on our tire. As you can see, this was leaking inside here. It looks like this dust cover was the culprit. The same thing was happening on the other side. I've already changed that side out. Bearings. I'm just going to set this aside. All right, so I've loosened up my bolts. I've gotten my trailer jacked up over here, hydraulic jack, and I've got a jack stand over here, okay? Safety first. I'm gonna go ahead and take our tire off. As I take my tire off, I'm gonna go ahead and inspect it. Make sure that there's no rubbing on the inside, the outside, unusual wear. And everything looks good. So we've got a grease buildup around the front of the rim, as well as a grease buildup in the back of the rim. Now I have used these Zerk fittings inside here to put in fresh grease. However, I think over time you guys are going to find out, you know, this trailer is 4 years old. You're going to find out that these seals are going to start to go bad, and they're going to need to be replaced, even though the bearings are good. So what I'm going to do today, again, is I'm going to go ahead and pull this hub. I'm going to inspect my spindle. I'm going to go ahead and change out the bearings as well as the seal on this hub. And I'm going to explain how I'm going to do that, okay? I'm going to put down a little piece of cardboard here to keep this area clean as I can. I've got a little aluminum tin, and as I pull these pieces out, I can throw them in, okay? This is gonna be dirty, okay? So that's why I got the gloves on. You know, you can get your hands dirty if you want, but that's up to you. When you start with taking off this dust cover, you want to have plenty of paper towels. So I found that there's a lot of videos out there that kind of go over changing out bearings on a boat trailer in general. However, I thought that our Heritage Classic XL community could benefit from seeing that what's actually on our hubs, what the part numbers and things of that sort is. Because again, when you're looking at other videos and you're looking at other trailers, there's always that, is that going to be the same as mine? And the only way you're gonna know is till you get into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you piece by piece what I'm doing here. That these are going to be what you're going to find on all our Classic XL trailers, okay? This is the hub assembly that you're going to find. I'm going to clean that off. I got a rubber mallet here. I'm going to pop this off. we're gonna clean all this stuff out, okay? I'm gonna just set this to the side right now, but we're gonna wanna get all that old grease out. I'm gonna expose the pin and the castle nut here and take this hub off. So you want to take note to how they put this pin in there and how they folded it up. So you can see it goes in this way and it's going to come back over the end of the spindle. We're going to straighten that out. For that I'm going to use a little pair of little vice grips here, needle nose vice grips. Get it off the spindle. I'm going to use a little hammer to straighten it out. Another good thing to do is just check how easy this thing will rotate here before you do it. That way when you put it all back together, it should have that same feel, okay? No slack, no give. There's really no easy way to get this pin out other than just figuring out how you can get the best leverage on it. Okay, eventually you'll get it out. Now we can back off this castle nut. You'll find that it's going to be, you'll be able to kind of half-ass turn it. This one's a little bit tighter than that other one. So I've got some pliers here. So here's our castle nut and our washer, okay? Castle nut and washer, we're gonna be reusing these. Now what I'm noticing is there's not a whole lot of grease in this compared to the other side. So this was something that really needed to be done. I had taken a trip in June to Missouri, and just prior to that trip I had topped off all the Zerk fittings, and I didn't have any issues on the way. But shortly after I got back, I made a couple of trips to the lake and started noticing that, you know, again, there was a lot of grease that had spun out around the rim, and they kind of happen about the same time. So you guys might also find that that's happening to yours. We're going to go ahead and pull this off. Pull the spindle off. So that first bearing fell out here. This is the front bearing. It's going to be the smaller of the two. I'm going to set that there. Get some paper towels. Look back here. All kinds of stuff wrapped around this. Grass. Could be old fishing line, who knows what. I'm going to clean all this up, and then I'm going to inspect the spindle and make sure there's not any gouges or any issues to the spindle. Gouges, rough spots, rust, any of that. And it looks really good still. Be sure to clean all this old grease off. Now that we've got that cleaned off, we're going to clean out the inside of our hub. We're actually going to, next we're going to look at the back side. We're going to go ahead and pop this old seal out. It may come out easy. I may have to do something different here to get it to pop out. Nope. Okay. So what you can do is you can take your tire, pop this in there into your rim. Let me get my tire here. You put that hub into your rim and use it for leverage. Put your foot over it and pop that thing out. There you go, bingo. So like I said, this is not a clean job, and there are specific tools that are made for that, but I don't have them. And I wanted to show you that you guys probably have all you need laying around the house to make this happen. Okay, so because we're replacing the back seal, we're going to go ahead and change out the bearings at the same time. That'll keep you from having to clean out those old bearings, and it allows for, you know, getting new grease and everything new. We're going to leave the races inside the hub. That's what I did on the other side as well. You need a special tool to get those out, and there shouldn't be any problem with the races. I mean, I wasn't really having any issues with the trailer, other than that I was noticing grease starting to spray around the rims, but everything is still in really good shape. So we're going to leave the races, we're going to replace the bearings and the rear seal. And this kit I got off of eBay. I got a pair of them for about 20 bucks. This is the Smith, fits 1 1/16 inch to 1 3/8 inch tapered spindle, and that is what fits on our boat. Okay, I'll put the link for these down in the description. So we're going to want to clean out all this old grease from inside the spindle here, and basically just kind of run your paper towel through it and just get it to go feed all the way through, and then it'll push that old grease out. Put this on paper towel. You see this old grease just start to push out. Go. I recommend at least a roll of toilet paper, or not toilet paper, but paper towels for each side that you guys are going to be doing. Okay, so I've gotten my hub all cleaned out. I've gotten my cap all cleaned out of all the old grease. My dust cover, my washer, and my castle nut all cleaned up. Okay, now we're ready to open up our bearing kit and hand pack our bearings. Here's our seal. Here's our rear bearing. And then here is our front bearing. And these also in this kit is another cotter pin and races that go inside the hub if you want to change those out as well. But we're not going to change those. We're just going to change out the bearings. Set this to the side. So we're going to take the rear bearing, which is the larger of the two, and we're going to go ahead and pack that with grease. I'm just using marine grade grease. This again was off of Amazon. You can get them for about 10 bucks. We're just going to squeeze some of this out. I'm going to put some in the palm of our non-dominant hand. We're just going to take the back side of this bearing and we're just going to work that in. And you're going to see that you're just going to keep going around until you start seeing it come through from the other side. And as it starts coming through from the other side, you're just going to work that bearing around. You'll start to see it come through pretty obviously. When it goes through all the way around, then you've got it packed. Just take your excess and replant it in your palm. So I feel good about that. It's all in there, all the way around, okay? So I'm just gonna take this excess and smooth it around. Set that down. Take some of this excess grease. I'll rub it inside my hub. Take some extra grease, throw it in here. Now we're going to drop our bearing inside of our hub. Fit it right up in there, right next to that race. I'm going to take my seal. I'm going to go ahead and pack this with some grease. Get it in, fill it in that groove. Make sure you work this in good so you don't have any air pockets in this. All right, now this is going to sit on top of that hub this way. Clean this. We're going to take a block of wood, stick it on top. We're just going to hammer this in. And it fits flush there. All right. We can turn this hub over. I'm going to go ahead and get us some more grease. I'm going to fill inside of this hub. Now we're going to go ahead and start packing our smaller bearing. It goes on the front of the hub. In the same fashion that we did the rear bearing. Just going to keep working it in with the palm of our hand until that grease starts coming through. Okay, we've got it worked in all the way through. We're just going to kind of smooth that grease over the entire bearing inside and out. And we're going to go ahead and drop that in. like so. All right, now we're ready to put our hub back on to the spindle. Hold this bearing in while you slide this on. And you'll feel it seat. Okay, we're seated there. Now we're ready to put our washer on. And then our castle nut. Be sure not to cross thread this. It can happen. We're going to go ahead and take our channel locks and tighten this up as tight as we can get. As we tighten it up, it's going to seat those bearings. So we're going to get it so tight that you can barely turn this hub. And that's what we want. We want it to really seat down there good. All right, that thing is on there. Can't go any tighter. All right, so now we're going to start to back this thing off. We're going to find where our castle nut goes. It's going to spin freely now. And if you paid attention to what it was when we first took it off, you're going to find that you're going to have about the same play now. And that should be good. So we're going to drive our pin back in. And remember, when we first took this off, these things were just bent around the front. Okay, so we've got our cotter pin back on, and we've bent it up in the same orientation that it was when we first took the hub off. So the next thing to replace is the cap. As you can see, I've cleaned it out, all good from the old grease. We're just going to pop that on there. We're going to give it a with our rubber mallet. Got that on. And we're going to come back with our grease gun and the Zerk fitting here. I'm going to fill the rest of this hub up with grease until we start seeing it come out the front. Start to fill up. You see that? All the way around. Good. Just gonna fill that up. to put our dust cap back on after it's already been cleaned out. Make sure this thing fits in the grooves. You'll feel it go on there, okay? There we have it. I'm going to clean up my rim and tire, and then we're going to get it back on. All right, we're going to remove the jack stand, and we're going to let our tire back down. There we go. Now we'll use our tire tool to put the proper torque on it. Put our load cover back on. There we have it. All right. Well, guys, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. I want to say thank you to all those that have watched my videos thus far, gave a comment, hit the like button, and subscribed. I really appreciate it. As you can see, this is the project that is a little time consuming, but nothing that you can't handle. The importance of these trailers, these trailer bearings, everything rides on them. So you don't want one of these things to seize up. It could wind up flipping your trailer, you know, the tire going, it damaging your boat. So it is very well worth spending a few hours doing this kind of maintenance to increase the longevity of your boat. Again, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.